So, Paige Bueckers' debut, man. It wasn't that good, not gonna lie. Not that good.
The Dallas Wings suck. That's my first thoughts. The Dallas Wings suck. They suck.
Everyone was talking about Paige Bueckers and her big WNBA debut, but Napheesa Collier stole the spotlight. She dropped an incredible 34 points and made Bueckers look like just another rookie. That much hyped matchup between the former UConn stars? It wasn't even close.
It was just the two-man game between Napheesa Collier and Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams with 25 and 9 assists. Napheesa Collier with 34 points.
Paige Bueckers scored just 10 points, hitting only 3 of her 10 shots. Meanwhile, Napheesa Collier took over in the third quarter, putting up 18 points and silencing the Texas crowd. This game sent a clear message: there's a big gap between college buzz and true pro-level performance. The same media outlets that hyped up Paige before she even played a minute in the WNBA are now trying to explain what just happened, because Collier gave her a real lesson in what it takes at this level. Think Paige will live up to the hype? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.
They absolutely suck. They have no coach. They employ Napheesa Smith. Their coach doesn't seem to know about. Their coach was shocked that the Minnesota Lynx were cutting so much. A team whose offense is cutting. Again, they employ Napheesa Smith. That is an important statement to make. They employ Napheesa Smith.
The buzz around Paige Bueckers before her WNBA debut was something the Dallas Wings hadn't seen in a long time. The media was all over her, highlighting her UConn days nonstop. Sports networks ran clips of her college plays, and experts were already calling her the next big star. And all of this came before she even stepped on the court for her first pro game.
Paige Bueckers is coming in, and she's going to be a driving force.
Clark is going against Paige and Dejanay. ESPN today, when they were talking about Paige, one of them says, I think Paige will be a good player this year, but I'm not expecting a Caitlin-like impact, and that's an unfair bar to set. Dallas Wings using the promo poster of Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark to hype that game up.
Here's what's crazy. Thanks to Paige Bueckers, the Dallas Wings sold merchandise in all 50 states and 23 countries. That's unheard of for a team that's usually off the national radar. Lauren Turner, the team's COO, said Bueckers brought more attention to the franchise than anything else in its 10-year history. The Wings went all in on Paige from the start. On opening night at College Park Center in Arlington, 7,000 fans filled the arena, paying top dollar to be part of what many thought would be the start of something special. Lines wrapped around the building hours before tip-off. Fans showed up in brand new Bueckers jerseys, and local news stations were out interviewing kids who already called her their favorite player before she'd even played a single minute of pro basketball.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
What got lost in all the hype was how the Wings put almost all their focus on Paige Bueckers and mostly sidelined the rest of their roster in the process. In team graphics, social media posts, and game promotions, Paige was the star. Meanwhile, seasoned veterans who had already proven themselves in the WNBA were barely visible. The message was loud and clear. This was Paige's team now before she even played a minute. The pressure on her was sky high. ESPN analysts predicted she'd score 18 to 20 points in her debut. One even said she'd instantly rank among the league's top guards. On basketball podcasts, the conversation wasn't about whether she'd win Rookie of the Year, it was whether she could make an all-WNBA team in her first season. The expectations weren't just high, they were completely unrealistic.
She is the chosen one, as they say. That may not be the case for Bueckers. For those of you wondering if Paige's acceptance into the WNBA will be different than Caitlin, delusional fan base that follows Caitlin Clark disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go into that league and tear it apart.
When the game finally began, reality set in fast. Paige Bueckers looked unsure of herself, struggling to handle the physical defense from the Lynx. The confidence she showed in college seemed to fade under the pressure of the pro stage. The crowd, which came in buzzing with excitement, slowly grew quieter as the missed shots and missed chances piled up. TV cameras kept catching glimpses of her on the bench, visibly frustrated. While Minnesota pulled ahead on the scoreboard, it was clear she was feeling the weight of all the hype. This wasn't the Paige from the UConn highlight reels. This was a rookie learning just how tough the WNBA really is.
Alright, so let's take a look at what Paige did, okay? This is Paige Bueckers right here. She went 3 for 10 from the floor, 0 for 2 from the 3, took care of the line. She had 7 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 10 points, alright? She had 2 turnovers, 3 fouls within the game. She took care of the line. So, yeah, it really wasn't that good. She didn't have a great day of shooting. Not what we're used to seeing her being efficient.
By the third quarter, it was hard to deny Paige Bueckers wasn't taking over the game. She was struggling to find her rhythm. The same fans who had cheered loudly during her introduction were now glancing at their phones, their excitement fading. Commentators who had predicted a breakout performance started backpedaling, blaming nerves and the need for an adjustment period. When the final buzzer sounded, the numbers told the story. 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting, 0-4-2 from 3, with 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Solid, but far from the spectacular debut everyone had hoped for. AS fans quietly made their way out of the arena. Those dreams of a fairy tale start, and maybe even a championship run, were put on hold.
She just stood on the weak side. She stood on the weak side and watched. That's on the coach. That is 100% on the coach. Paige was watching. She was a passenger most likely.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the court, Napheesa Collier wasn't just good, she was unstoppable. While Bueckers was trying to find her rhythm, Collier was in complete control, dropping 34 points with ease and confidence. She hit shots over defenders, attacked the basket whenever she wanted, and ran the game from start to finish. The difference was striking, the seasoned pro putting on a clinic, and the rookie learning just how big the gap still is.
34 points on opening night. How did that feel? Feels good. It feels better to get the win. I'm glad we turned around the second half, but man, it felt good. It felt like what we trying to do all season long, man.
What's the mindset this season?
The mindset is to go get us a ring, so we know what we got to do. Just go out there and take it. You know, I think we have all the tools to do. We got to go out there and do it.
The gap between Collier's performance and Bueckers' debut wasn't just obvious. It was huge. Collier outscored the rookie by 24 points and did it with far better efficiency. This wasn't just a case of one player doing better than the other. It was a clear display of experience, skill, and control. While the spotlight was locked on Paige Bueckers, Napheesa Collier quietly prepared to steal the show, and that's exactly what she did. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year didn't need any flashy promos or media hype. She just needed the ball, and she made sure everyone in the building remembered who the real star was.
I'm really happy for Paige. I really like Paige, her family, the way she plays. Like, she's just a great person and player, so I'm really happy for her. I texted her, like, good luck tonight. Don't do too much against us. You wait till your next game. But, yeah, I'm excited for her.
What do you think? Some character that you admire?
First of all, her work ethic. And then I think just the way that she's already a three-way player. Mid-range is probably the hardest to master, and she's really good in the mid-range. But especially as a point guard, being able to score at all levels, and then her vision, really impressive, especially for someone who hasn't played professionally yet.